All right, welcome back. Today we are going to do the second part of the Unit 2, Lesson 6. So if you want to open up with me to page 27, we will continue on through this lesson. We'll finish up and you'll be able to start your study guide portion after this. Okay, so share the document camera here with you. All right, so this is the stuff to make you think here. So on this number line, 0 and y are labeled. Label the other response or the other spaces. Okay, so we have 0 and y, and you can kind of notice out here they've kind of pre-started some of these. So each gap is worth y in this case. So we go kind of 1y, and then we'll have 2y, 3y, 4y, 5y, 6y. Whoop. 6y. And then going the other way, we have minus y, or you could put minus 1y if you wanted, minus 2y, minus 3y, minus 4y, minus 6y, minus 7y. Because each space is worth y. Okay, so by the time I get to this space, I have 2 y's. On number 19, on this number line, 0 and y are labeled, and y is a negative number. Okay, label the other spaces. So you have 0, negative y, negative 2y, negative 3y. Here you have 0y, 2y, 3y, 4y. Okay, which seems a little off, right? But it says that y is a negative number. Okay, so when you plug a negative number in here, you have a negative number, which turns out to be a positive. Here it says in both problems, 18 and 19, y and negative y are opposites of each other. And 2y and negative 2y are also opposites. Opposite numbers are the same distance from 0, but on opposite sides of 0. So that's just saying, like from here to 2y is the same as 0 to negative 2y. They're both 2y distance away. Okay. All right, here on page 20, they kind of give us some numbers here. We go 5 to negative 5, negative 11 to 11. Oh, and down here it says y and then negative y. So a negative just means switch the sign. It doesn't mean it has to be negative. If you look here, not all of these are negative. So if y is 17, then this would be negative 17. Okay, here we have this one. So going the other way, we just change the sign. So 63, change the sign, negative 63. Negative 22, change the sign, 22. 19, change the sign, negative 19. 105, change the sign, negative 105. Negative 14 and a half, we're just going to change the sign, 14.5. 0, change the sign is 0, because 0 is both positive or negative, or some people say it's neither positive or negative. So just kind of whatever, however you think of it. Okay, number 21, show where each of these belongs on the number line. Okay, so we have 0, N, and K. All right. So it looks like this is N, but K is a little further away. Okay, so we have 5N and 2K and negative K, 2N and negative 2K. So whatever this distance is will be the ends. So if you want to use a ruler, or sometimes we can use like a piece of paper here. Because we don't actually need a distance. So if I put this here and mark this, okay, that is an n distance away. It's kind of hard to do. So there's 2n, there's 3n, there's 4n, and this would be 5n, I think I saw. Okay, 5n right there. So there's 5n. So mark that one off. We have negative 2n. So we'll come over here and line it up. 1, 2. So this is negative 2n. Oh, right there. So now we need to work on the k values. And if we keep going out here to a k, it looks like k is exactly 4 n's away. So k equals 4n. So that'll kind of help us here. But you notice k must be a negative number because a positive k is on this side. So 4n actually equals negative k. So 1, 2, 3, 4, this would be negative k because they're opposites of each other. Negative 2k would be on this side, and it would be 4 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is negative 2k. And then you could just measure k. If I want to go from that line to 0, that's a k right there. So if I come over here, boom, right here, here is 2k. So we don't really need a ruler, but just a piece of paper to kind of keep the distances the same to figure out what, since there's 2 variables here, it's a little more difficult. Okay, number 22, plot and label these values. Okay, so we have R and T. Let's just take care of the T or the R here. So it looks like R is going to be a negative number. Okay, so 2R. So there's 1R. Here's 2R. So 2R. Negative R would be on the opposite side. So kind of line that up. There's negative R. And 4R. So there was 2, 3R, 4R. So 4R right there. Okay, so the next one would be the T values. So I got 2T and 3T. So if I measure this distance from 0 to T, so there's 1T, there's 2T, and then here is 3T. Okay. And this is more precise because I'm using the piece of paper. It helps me really identify, you know, R and T are not related in this case at all. But up here, N and K were related. Discuss and write what you think. It says, at first, the number line looks wrong because we know that negative numbers live on the left of 0 on the number line. But because x is a variable, it is possible for negative x to be a positive number. Use examples to explain this number line to a person seeing it for the first time. Okay, so here's what it's saying. If x is over here, negative x still has to be a positive number. Okay, so in this case, x might equal something like negative 2. Okay, negative 2 over here. That means that this would be a positive 2. Okay, because a negative 2 is a positive. If x is negative 10, okay, this over here would be minus 10, and negative x would be the same distance away. This is 10 away, so this would be 10 away, but it would be a positive 10. Okay, so just because it's negative over here, doesn't mean the ending number is negative if this is a variable. Okay, and that's the only way it works is because x is a variable. Okay, number 24. Okay, 24 says clue 1, A is positive. Oh, so we're just putting A and B here on this chart here. So A is a positive number, so A is somewhere over here. B equals 2A, so B also must be positive because 2 times a positive number is still positive, and B is greater than A. So let's say this is A right here. And if I do 2 of those, so 1, 2, this would be B. B is greater than A is positive, and B was 2 of those A spaces. Okay. 25, A is negative. Okay, so A is over here. B is 2 A's, and B is less than A. So B also must be negative. It's pretty much the exact reverse of this. So let's say this is A. Okay, A is negative. B is 2 of those, so 1, 2, and B is less than A. So there you go. And the spacings here could be different. You could have more, you could have less. It doesn't matter. As long as the spacing between 0 and A is the same as A and B. 0 and A and B. They should be the same. Problems 24 and 25 show that the answer to which is greater, x or 2x. Problems 24 and 25 show that the answer to which is greater, x or 2x, is it depends. And what does it depend on? Well, it's this first clue. Okay? It depends on if it's positive or negative. Okay, because if A is negative, then A in this case would be bigger than B. Okay, because it's reverse of what you think. Is it possible, number 27, for a number and twice the same number to be the same? In other words, can n equal 2n? If so, when? If not, why is it impossible? Well, there's only one case, okay? And you can start plugging in numbers here. If I plug in a 1 for n, then this would be 2, a 2, a 4. Okay, you keep going down. You could go down the negative side. -1, -2, -2, -4. But there's one number that it does work, and that number is 0. It only works at 0 because you get 0 equals, and 2 times 0 is also 0. Okay, because and the reason that is because 0 is 0 units away from 0. Okay, it's kind of the center point. 28, is it possible for a number and 2 more than the same number to be the same? In other words, okay, so this one was twice, and this one is 2 more. Okay, in other words, can y equal 2 plus or y plus 2? If so, when? If not, why is this impossible? Okay, this cannot be true. And this is impossible because this is a distance away. Okay, it's a constant distance away. No matter what y is, the other number, this number, will always be 2 to the right. Okay, in this case up here, we were looking at a variable distance away. We didn't really know what that variable was. It was changing. Okay, this one's constant. It's never going to change. Okay, tough stuff. When you're taking a long test, you want to use methods that save you time. That always means understanding what the test problem is asking for. It also means understanding what the problem is not asking for to avoid unnecessary work. For each of these problems, find each answers. Do not do more work than is really needed. Okay, so let me kind of explain how these work. Okay, if a plus 20 equals 12, then a plus 21 is, now we kind of did this problem on the number line the other day, okay? And if you just move this number to the right one spot, which is 21, then this number right here also moves to the right one spot. So in this case, your answer would be B. It would be the 12 plus the one spot. Here on 30, if 6 minus B equals 0, then 10 plus B is, okay, so you went from 6 to 10. That was plus 4 spots. That was 4 to the right. So the 0 is going to also get a plus 4. Okay, so in this case, 0 plus 4 is 4. And these problems are taking me less than 30 seconds. Okay, some people would try to solve this for A and then plug A back in. That's a lot of work. Okay, this will save you much time. 150 minus C equals 17,120. Then 160 minus C is what? Okay, so this went from 150 to 160, so plus 10. So this one here goes to the right 10 spots as well. So that would be C. 17,130. Okay, be careful though, because I looked here to see what direction the number was moving. Okay, if this went to 140, then this number needs to go down 10. So you always have to look at directions on which way your numbers are moving, left or right. All right, that concludes the Unit 6 lesson. You have your additional practice that start on page 29 for you to kind of work through and take the quiz on. You also can start studying and practicing problems for the Unit 2 test. That practice is on page 35 and 36 of this workbook. So work on this quiz on page 29 and then flip to page 35 here and start working on that review. I will be posting a video shortly of me working through those review to kind of help you out. All right, guys, thanks for watching.